and she can go ahead and get started.
Miigwech, sis, and Wopida, Donna, thank you so much for that amazing prayer to get us started. I hope that sets the tone. I feel it set the tone for me. Anytime I hear Donna's voice, I immediately just feel more calm. And I hope you guys do too. And that's
Yes.
really, kind of the mood that we want to set here. Like, we're just here to have fun and like talk about food, like delicious food. If you guys have ever been to a Mexican restaurant or a Spanish restaurant or a restaurant, like from Central America, and you've had like those pickled jalapenos, those whole pickled jalapenos, right? Or like those pickled carrots. I know down in Sioux Falls, I don't know how many of you guys have been down that way, but in Sioux Falls and in Sioux City, there are a couple of restaurants that have these amazing pickled carrots and onions. And that's all escabeche, okay? And it is so amazing. What we're making tonight goes with anything. If you like pickles or if your kids like pickles, they'll love this. And it's like an excellent way, number one, to preserve some of the stuff from your garden all winter long, but also to like use up kind of anything left over that you have. In all seriousness, you guys, if you had like a big, gorgeous watermelon from your garden and you wanted, you like looked at that big old watermelon rind and you're like, man, that's a big waste of watermelon, the white part of the watermelon, you could make escabeche with the watermelon rind as well. And it's delicious. So, anything that you have around could be used for this. Traditionally, escabeche is just like the recipe you got. It has cauliflower, onion. It doesn't matter what kind of onion you have, whatever's from your garden. It has garlic, beautiful garlic, carrots, jalapeno, and some seasonings. I just happened, so we have a huge garden, of course, and I just happened to have some leftover celery, even some like kind of sad looking celery with the tops, but I'm gonna put it in there because I have it and I don't want to waste it. And we, have put celery in everything lately, and I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to use that. So just whatever you have around would be so great. This onion didn't come from the garden. My husband got it from the store today, but the cauliflower that we have, I'm really lucky, came from our garden, and it's like the last cauliflower, the last one. So I wanted to like spend time with you guys to keep that going. My kids can, they can eat a lot of veggies, but I don't know about you guys. So one of the most common questions I get, so many of us are growing food these days, really, like there were more gardens down on the Standing Rock Reservation in the last couple of years than like at any point in the last 30, right? So like a ton of gardens in the last couple of years, especially with COVID. People were like, hey, we have to start growing our own food. We have to become more food sovereign, right? But I had so many people contact me and be like, okay, I grew all this food. I have 60 heads of broccoli. Now what do I do with it? And I was like, okay, here's what you do. So, escabeche is such a great way to use all of that gorgeous stuff that's still left in your garden, even right now. So I see that Angel was talking about cabbage. You could totally put escabeche cabbage in your escabeche. You could put, I saw someone the other day who was like, oh, you know what? The big freeze is coming. How do I use up all this kale? Well, we dry a ton of our kale, but we also put some in our escabeche. We pickle it, and that's basically what we're doing today is we're making a pickle. Does anyone know why this is classified as a pickle? What's the one thing we're adding to our recipe? I'll look in the chat here. I'll monitor it. What's the one thing we're putting in this recipe that makes it a pickle? You can unmute or you can, oh, you're dead. Anita, thank you. Yes. Vinegar is what makes this a pickle. This is not a ferment, okay? To ferment, fermentation means that we would be building lactobacillus bacteria in our, good bacteria in our jar. And that just involves sugar and water, I'm sorry, salt and water, not sugar. Salt and water. Okay, so this is more of a pickle. This is not fermentation. We'll have to do we've done kimchi before, and you know, we'll have to do it again because that's so good as well to use up some of the stuff you have. So you guys were given some supplies. I don't know how many of you guys are making this along with us today, but I hope quite a few of you are because it's easy. And if you're not making it right now, I hope you'll be making it at some point really soon in the future, because this escabeche, these pickled vegetables, go with everything. Okay. Oh, awesome. Anita just said that the kimchi video that we did is on the YouTube channel, the NACC YouTube channel. But this goes with everything. So in the morning, sometimes we'll have like tortillas with eggs over the top and like, you know, maybe some salsa, and we'll have escabeche on the side, maybe some bacon or whatever, you know, delicious way to have some vegetables and a really nice hit of acid to whatever you're cooking. When we have burgers, we use these instead of pickles, like instead of like store-bought pickles. Anytime you're having tacos, to me, like a taco isn't a taco without some escabeche on the side. Okay, so this is, you know, something that's really important and delicious, and I hope you guys will really enjoy it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have a hot plate right here. I don't like, yeah, you guys can see that. I don't want you guys to see my incredibly messy kitchen. But so we have a hot plate here, and I have a pan, a heavy pan on my hot plate right here, and I'm just gonna turn it on. I don't want it too high. I barely want it on medium. You don't want your pot on too high. This is a cooked pickle. It's like pre-cooked. And I know that freaks a lot of people out, but I will tell you guys, I recently went to a farmer's market and I bought a jar of escabeche. I wish I had it. I'll see if my husband can grab it for me in a second, but I bought a jar of escabeche, okay, from a farmer's market. And the lady did not pre-cook the vegetables and it did not taste right. Okay, so pre-cooking your vegetables, honey, do you remember where that jar is of that escabeche that I bought from that lady? We might have even gotten rid of it. That's how not good it was. Okay, so it was pickled, but she didn't pre-cook them and it didn't taste right. So this step of like heating up your pan, putting your 2 teaspoons of olive oil in there. Okay, so I have some olive oil right here. I'm preheating my pan over here to my right, just to my right. And I'm just gonna add 2 teaspoons. And anyone who knows me here, this is a big ass jar. Oh, I mean, sorry. This is a big jar of olive oil. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've been working all day. This is a big jar of olive oil. And I'm just gonna add 2 teaspoons to my cast iron pot. You can use whatever oil you have on hand. If you don't have olive oil, use vegetable oil, okay? Just use whatever. If you would rather use fat, like bacon fat, delicious. I think that like bacon fat would be super good, but I'm gonna use some of this olive oil. And as you guys can see, I'm measuring very carefully, she says sarcastically. I'm not measuring at all. But you wanna put about 2 teaspoons into your pot there. What do you think? That look like 2 teaspoons? Okay, awesome. My husband's helping in the background. So I have that in my pan and I'm just gonna let that heat up for a second. Okay, just turning my pan up a little more. We have a new hot plate that we're using and I haven't used it too much. And if there are any questions as we're doing this process, going through this process, feel free to put them in the chat anytime. or like shout out. It's no problem. Don't worry about interrupting me. I like to get the questions while we're actually doing stuff, because sometimes we forget, right? So I have my oil heating in my pan, and the first thing I'm gonna do is peel my onion. My husband took it away from me because he was going to do it for me. So I just have a large white onion, but if you only have a red onion from your garden, if you have a yellow onion, if you were given a couple small onions, whatever, don't fret about it. And I'm going to lower this so I can just show you guys. I'm just cutting off each end. Okay. And you guys save this, put this in your fire cider. Okay. Save these ends. Don't throw them away. Just throw them into your fire cider. If you don't know what fire cider is, I think we made a video on that as well. But you don't have to throw all that stuff away. So I'm just peeling my onion here. Okay. And I like the onion to be large in there. I don't like it to be small. So I cut the onion in half. You can see I have 2 halves, and I'm just gonna, do some large pieces here. Nothing too small. If you want to finely chop it or slice it, you can totally do that. Okay. But can you see that size, this size pieces that I have? That's what I'm going to put into my pot right now. Okay. With my hot oil that's been heating. Now, let me say this. You're not trying to brown your vegetables. Okay. If your oil is too hot, turn it down right now, because you're not looking to brown them. You're only looking to sweat them out a little bit. Okay. So don't have this on high heat. Just have it on like a low to medium heat. Okay. I'm looking, if it makes a sound when you put your onions in, it's a little too hot. So I'm going to turn mine down a little because it's making a little bit of a sound. And then I'm going to start to sweat out these onions a little. The next thing that's on your recipe that you're going to add are your 3 large carrots. Okay. And I have 4 large carrots because they're the last carrots from my garden. How are you guys going to chop your carrots? It's up to you. If you want to do circles, okay, and just go down like this, you can. I like to make it kind of pretty. And so I go on the bias. What does that mean? Okay, so first of all, I peeled these carrots and I'm taking the ends off, okay? You can put those in your fire cider too. You don't have to throw them away. But I make a bias cut just because it's pretty. You see this? And you want to do them at, what would you call this, dear? Quarter inch, about a 1/4 inch thick. Okay. You guys see how I'm going at an angle here? Just because it's pretty, not for any other reason. All right. And I'm going to add these to my pot that already has my onions going in there. Are any of you guys drinking tea tonight? I'm drinking tea. My husband made me a cup of Earl Grey. Earlier, I was having ginger and lemon tea. Was there anything else in there besides ginger and lemon and honey? Nope, just ginger and lemon and honey. That's what I was having earlier. But right now I'm having something with a little bit of caffeine in it. So I'm having a cup of Earl Grey, which I love. It's one of my favorites. If you're having a cup of tea tonight, go ahead and put what kind of tea you're having in the chat. Okay, so that's my 3rd carrot, and that might be all you guys have, but I have 4 because this is literally the last carrot from my garden, and I was like, okay, I might as well just use it, right? Okay, I have my carrots in there. I'm just gonna stir this around a little bit. Okay. Like I said, we're just sweating these out. Okay. Okay, so what's next? I like to follow the recipe that she sent out to you, just so no one gets confused. Okay, next is the cauliflower. So Let's see. Oh, nice. Rose hip and elk medicine. Oh my gosh, sis, that sounds delicious. Sweet and also slightly, minty from the elk medicine. Lovely. So I have one whole head of cauliflower that I've kind of already broken up here. What size do you have your cauliflower? It is totally up to you. That's a little bit big for me. So all I'm gonna do is kind of just break it apart by hand. I'm not worrying about chopping it. I'm not worried about it being all even or anything. Was there a question? Okay, sorry, I heard some sound. I took the leaves off of my cauliflower, my whole head of cauliflower, but you don't have to, okay? If you like to leave the leaves on, the leaves of cauliflower and it's a little high, and of broccoli are totally edible. They're just like cabbage. Did you guys know that technically cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, and kale are like the same species? It's weird. But I'm just breaking up these pieces of cauliflower. Thank you. I have someone stirring while I do this. Okay. And I don't like the stems to be too big, so I don't throw them away, but just break up your cauliflower and add it in there. Remember, you're not trying to brown them, you're just trying to sweat them out a little bit. So far in my pan, I have my onions, my carrots, and now my cauliflower. This is the perfect time of year for this, to make this dish for food preservation, because there are a lot of people who have like some leftover cauliflower, even if it was just from like your vegetable box that you got from someone. A lot of people have cauliflower right now, and carrots and onions, these things that are very cold tolerant. So just put them in here, okay? So I have my cauliflower added to there. And next I'm going to add 12 whole cloves of garlic. Okay, now here I've already peeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're kind of big. I'm gonna add those. I love garlic, so it doesn't matter that they're huge, but there's 8. I wanna show you guys my husband's secret to peeling garlic with whole cloves, and I'm gonna look insane, okay? They're recording this. So I'm just gonna do this for a second, and then I'm gonna hand it off. But I wanna show you guys that I have a whole head of garlic in this jar. Do you guys see this? Okay, so I'll take it out just so I can show you. So I have a glass jar here. This is our garlic jar. And I have a whole head of garlic in here, okay? Bam, dropped it in there. Doesn't matter what size jar it is. Does anyone else do this? Put the lid on, and then you just shake it like crazy. I know I look insane, sorry. But watch this. Okay, you guys saw it. It was a whole head of garlic. Now I take it out, okay? And here, I'm gonna grab this bowl here just to catch everything. It's already like broken apart, and the peel comes off like super easy, okay? You don't even have to, like, look at this. You don't have to peel it. Look at that. It just comes off super easy. Just shake it in the jar for about 10 seconds, okay? And then throw it in to your pot. It really, I have a lot of different tricks for peeling garlic, but if you're trying to get pretty whole cloves, that, like, the jar method, shaking it, is the best way. All right. And I really must care about you guys to let someone film me doing that, because I know I look insane. Okay, so I'm gonna add, I think I had 8, so I'm gonna add 4 more. Add as much or as little garlic as you want. If you don't like the garlic, just add like 1 clove, because it adds so much flavor. And of course, you guys, like, think about this, okay? Escabeche is medicine. All right, I'm gonna repeat that. Escabeche is medicine. It really is. The vinegar in this dish helps to lower blood pressure. It helps to thin like any congestion that you might have in your lungs. It boosts your immune system. The garlic in here, same thing, helps to lower blood pressure, helps to lower bad cholesterol. Garlic is excellent for liver and kidney function and even pancreas function. The onions in here, onions and garlic are closely related, so that's medicine. And then, you know, the carrots and the cauliflower are amazing for our health. They have tons of phytonutrients and they're super high in fiber. Okay. So like if you're going to have a couple of tacos, have some escabeche on the side to help fill you up with fiber. Okay. I obviously, I'm not all that into sports. But if you are, escabeche is wonderful for people who like to work out and are really into sports because it's very filling and you're getting a lot of medicine at the same time and you're getting vegetables, delicious vegetables, okay? So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like raw vegetables, this is a great way to get some of that, okay? I'm just gonna, I always tell my students, one of the keys to learning, especially when it comes to plants and plant medicine, is repetition, like seeing and doing things over and over. So in my pot over here, I'm just gonna hold it up so you guys can see, okay? In here, I have onions, I have garlic, I have cut up carrots, and I have cut up cauliflower, okay? In about 2 teaspoons of oil, and I'm just kind of sweating them out in this pot, okay? Any questions so far? Okay.
Wait, so do we put everything to one pot?
Everything into one pot.
Okay.
What does sweating them out mean?
I'm sorry. Oh, sweating them out. So, okay. I don't know how much experience you have with cooking, but sometimes when you put stuff in a pan, you want it to get brown and toasty, right? You want it to like brown up a little bit. When it comes to this, you don't want it to get brown. You just kind of want it to get soft.
Okay.
That's what sweating it out means, is like you don't want it to get brown. You just want to soften it up a little bit. Okay.
And do we put all the jalapenos in it too?
We haven't done that yet.
Okay.
So far in here, I have the olive oil, I have the onion, carrots, cauliflower, and garlic. And now I'm going to add my 6 whole jalapenos. Okay. Now let's just talk about that for 1 second. Check out my jalapenos. Okay. They're lovely. These actually came from the United Tribes garden where I teach at United Tribes Technical College. Notice this long stem. I kind of like the stem in there because when I'm eating these pickled jalapenos, I love to hold it by the stem and just like eat the whole thing. Okay. But if you don't like that, you can cut the stem off. But you guys, is everyone looking? Everyone look for just 1 sec. If you're going to cut the stem off, leave the cap on. Otherwise, the seeds will escape. Okay. So I'm just going to show you one. Okay. So here's one. See this? I'm not going to cut too far down. I still have that little cap on the end to keep it closed. If you want to chop your jalapeno up, that's fine. I've seen people do that with escabeche before, but really whole jalapenos is the goal. And the reason is because if you cut it up, the whole thing becomes super fiery hot instead of just a little bit spicy. If you open this up, all of the spicy stuff, what we call the capsaicin, will come out of this jalapeno. But if you leave it whole like this, it will pretty much stay inside. And when you eat this jalapeno, you'll be the only one really getting that fire. Okay. So I'm going to add all 6 of my jalapenos. I might trim the stems up a little bit, but I'm going to leave them on there for the most part. And I'm going to add them to my pot. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a question. Are we going to use all of the carrots or just a few? Because it says 3 large on this escabeche recipe. and I have baby cut.
That, which is totally great. In fact, I would say most people use baby cut carrots these days. I like to cut those in half and add probably about 12 of them. I like to add 12 whole baby carrots
Okay.
for this recipe. Yep. But it's up to you. If you like carrots, add them all. If you don't like them, you don't have to add as many. Okay. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
So I have a question. I have another question.
Yep.
Like, so we got a cabbage. Like, do we use like this part too, like the stalk part of it, or like the
Is that a cauliflower or?
That's-
Yep. So that's a cauliflower. So, okay. So that's
yeah,
great.
cauliflower. That's what I meant, my bad.
So everyone check, I don't mean to put you on the spot, Natasha, but everyone look at Natasha's beautiful cauliflower. That's gorgeous, by the way. So she still has some of the leaves on her cauliflower, okay? A lot of people take those off. And I suppose for this recipe, I would probably recommend your first time making escabeche, just peel them off. Okay?
Oh wait, the for the cauliflower.
Yep. Yep, that's so that's the cauliflower. Those are that green part on the cauliflower are the leaves. Yep, just like you have there, Davine.
Okay, so what heat do we put the? What heat do we put the oven on, or the?
So I have my pot here on a hot plate. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna show you guys one more time. So I have it here on a hot plate, and I have it a little bit higher than low.
Okay.
You don't want it too high. If it's too high, it's gonna brown and like fry your vegetables. You're not trying to fry them. You're just trying to soften them a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? Does
Right.
that make some sense?
Yep. So then we put the olive oil in there, and
Yep. I'm
Just
gonna okay. I'm gonna go again, like just so people can kind of catch up if they want to, because I know I talk fast. So okay, the first thing you want to do is in your pot on a hot plate or a stove. Everyone, hot plate or stove, you have your kettle or your pot. Put about 2 teaspoons or so of oil in there. Two teaspoons of oil in a pot. Doesn't matter what kind of oil. I'm using olive oil. You can use vegetable oil. If you have canola oil, that's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna, I'm taking my vegetables off the heat just so I can show you, okay? So about 2 teaspoons in your pot here, like I did. Next, add your onion. What size? Now look at, this is how big I cut my onion because I like big pieces of onion, but you don't have to. Whatever size you want, however you like to eat your onion is totally fine. I just kind of like peeled it and cut it into big chunks. Okay. And then I added that to my oil and I stirred it around a little bit and just kind of coated the onion with the oil. Questions so far? Okay. Then what I did is I took my carrots. If you have baby carrots, you can put them in their whole, probably about 12 of them. Like I was telling Davine. Okay. You can put about 12 whole baby carrots in there. But I happened to have 4 large carrots. So I cut them up and put as much as I want to in there. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have baby carrots, if you have big carrots, You can peel them or not peel them. I peeled mine just to make it pretty. Okay. And then I cut mine up into circles about this big. Okay. But you don't have to. If you want to put your whole carrots in there, you totally can. Okay. So far, according to these directions that I'm going over, we have our oil, our onion, and our carrot in our pot. Any questions? Okay. So then what I did, just going to show you guys this again, is I took my cauliflower. Cauliflower does look like a cabbage, kind of, okay? But it's like the white chunky part is what you're going for. I took off the green part, the leaves. Sometimes, I hate to waste anything. And so sometimes I'll take those leaves and I'll chop them up and I'll put them in salad, or I'll chop them up and I'll stir fry them with eggs, things like that. You don't have to waste those leaves, but for these purposes, you really just want the white cauliflower part. Okay. And break them up into chunks. Can you guys kind of see what size I broke mine into? Okay. And that's up to you. If you want large cauliflower chunks, great. If you want small cauliflower chunks, that's fine. That's totally fine as well. And just add those to your pot. So far you have, I know you're peeling an onion, Natasha, but unmute yourself and tell me what we have in our pot so far. I'm testing you.
Nothing. I just put oil in the pot so far. I'm trying to get the onion ready.
Great. That's great. That's great.
I started cutting the carrots, so then I was like thrown off with I was like, oh, onions first.
It doesn't have to be in any order. So like whatever you want. That's just the order that Anita sent the recipe out. And that's the order that she had it in. So that's the order I'm following. But it totally, you cannot mess this up, you guys. Okay?
You sure?
I promise. I know, believe me. I get paranoid about messing stuff up, but I'm telling you, you guys can't mess this up. If you stuck your huge carrots in there totally whole, you still wouldn't mess it up because you could always cut them up later. Davine, is it Davine or Divine?
Davine.
Davine. Okay, sorry. So Davine, how large are you gonna cut your cauliflower up? I'm just curious. How do you do it?
Honestly, you see the little bridges in there. I was just gonna cut. I don't know. I was gonna make them big, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people like huge chunks of cauliflower in there. And then what they'll do is they'll kind of take a huge chunk out and cut it up later, and they'll share it with 3 or 4 people. That's totally fine. Whatever works for you. Okay. Let's see. Will, is it Will? Will now okay. Hi, Will, where are you at in the process? Can you unmute yourself? Oh, awesome.
So I got everything in the pot. I'm just got to do the garlic now.
Awesome. How do you peel your garlic? Do you have any tricks?
I usually just roll in my hand.
Yeah, totally. It's all about the pressure, so that totally works.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You look like have you ever made escabeche before?
No, I haven't.
But you look like you're experienced in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Who else is
thank
cooking along with us? Iktomi or Destiny? Are you guys cooking along with us tonight? Destiny, tell us. Oh, awesome. Hi, where are you guys at?
Sorry, we're in my dining room, which is connected to my kitchen. So we just have to keep running back and forth.
No problem. Where are you guys at in the process?
We're now boiling we did most of everything. Like we've cut the pepper. We had to cut one of the peppers because we have like massive jalapenos. So we're just like sweating those, and then we're trying to add like the liquids now. I don't know at this time.
That's great. Cool. Okay, thank
When do
you
we
very
add,
much.
when do we add the liquids?
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. So I'll
Okay,
talk about
okay,
that in just a second. Yep. And then Itomi, do you want to tell us what's going on with you?
Sure, I added everything, and I just turned the heat off just now, just so that I'm not over sweating. I don't know, just following along.
Awesome. That's great. Okay. And then Jasmine, are you cooking along with us?
No, not right now. I'm just making sure all of our families are following along, and I got my 2 little ones here, so I got the recipe and I'm excited to make it because JP loves pickles.
Yay. Awesome. Great.
Oh, you
Cool.
love pickles? Oh, he
Is
said
there
he loves
anyone else who
pickles.
wants to share where they're at in the process?
I just have a question for you. Do we put the whole cauliflower in there?
I did. Yeah. A whole head of cauliflower. Broken
okay,
up.
go ahead. Yes.
Yep.
Erin.
Awesome. Angel is showing us hers. She broke up her cauliflower into small pieces. It looks amazing. So you guys look at Angel's and then look at mine. Okay. So my cauliflower pieces are bigger, but you know what? Neither of us did it wrong. It's perfect. It's totally a personal preference. And like, you know, I'm just a little lazy. So, so I didn't break mine up too super small, but you totally can make it as small as you want. Okay. Now, does anyone mind if I start on the liquids, or is that going to mess anyone up? I can hold off for a second if you guys want. Anyone who knows me, I think I saw Carol on here earlier, my sis Carol, and anyone who knows me, like, you know, I can keep talking. Okay, so I'm going to start on my liquids.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Did you talk about yet what to do with the garlic?
Yep, I did.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
no problem at all. So you keep the garlic cloves whole. Okay. Honey, can you hand me a head of garlic? You know what I mean, probably.
Yep.
Renee.
I'm peeling them, so I just wasn't sure what to do after that.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
So we saw a couple methods of peeling them. Do you have a trick to peeling, Renee?
Not really. I'm just kind of, sometimes I slice the end off and then just kind of
Peel.
squeeze it out.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Okay. Yep. We added about 12 whole garlic cloves. If you want to cut up your garlic and have a super garlicky escabeche, that's fine. Remember, the smaller your pieces of garlic and jalapeno, the stronger those flavors will be in your escabeche. Okay. Because they'll release more juices and more flavor. Okay. So if you don't want it to be super garlicky, put whole cloves in there. I like to eat the whole cloves. And let me tell you guys, any of you guys this winter, if you have a cold, if you have a cough, take one of those cloves of garlic out of your escabeche and just start chewing on it. I know. Okay. I know your breath will stink. And I know that some of you probably have partners who will be like, yuck, but that's okay. Cause it's totally going to make you feel better.
Okay. And we're cooking that in the pot with all of the vegetables. Gotcha.
Yep. Again. Yep. So, onion, garlic, carrots, cauliflower, and jalapenos all in here. Okay. With, 2 teaspoons of oil. And I'm just cooking them a little bit. I'm not browning them. I'm just kind of softening them up a little, right? You don't want them to be brown, which is why I keep stirring it constantly. Okay. Okay. Any other questions before I start our liquids? Okay.
I have a question, Linda.
Yep.
You had said that garlic, the pickled garlic will help with a cold. Is that just for adults, or what would you suggest for children too? or toddlers,
Yep.
babies.
If they will eat it, it's totally true for them. So what we will do sometimes is we will, because like, so our youngest is 7 now, and he will eat whole cloves of garlic if we have him do it, just because we tell him, hey, this is medicine, this is important. He'll eat it. But if you have a little one and you're trying, like a really little one, and you're trying to acclimate them or get them used to the flavor of garlic, pickled garlic is actually a really good way to do that. So what you can do is make your escabeche and then take a thin slice of your garlic and put it like on there on a spoonful of whatever their favorite thing is to eat. Taco salad, macaroni and cheese. You know, I know how kids are, so like, you know, no judgments there, but take a thin slice of the pickled escabeche garlic and put it on there. They're getting a lot of medicine that way. And one of the great things about garlic as medicine is that it's super duper safe, you guys. Like you can't, like garlic might be a little strong for like a baby under the age of, you know, like it's such a tough thing to say. So I'm asking my husband, honey, how old was our youngest, who is now 7, when we first started feeding him garlic in any form? Too young to really say. I would say he was probably about 8 months the first time we gave him kimchi, which has a lot of garlic in it. And we just gave him a super like tiny piece, you know, and now our son can eat more kimchi than I can and more garlic than I can. So just little pieces, get them used to it. You guys, our kids, I want to say this because I know how hard it is. Like for a lot of us, you know, it's tough for us. Our palates have already been colonized by sugar and salt. And if we want to help our kids to be different, start them off super early. Start them off like, you know, with little bits of bitter things, little bits of garlic, little bits of onion, little bits of sauerkraut and kimchi. And by the time they get to be old enough, they're going to love it because their palates are already going to be used to it. Okay. So that's what we've did with our youngest. I wish we had done it more with our older kids because they have a little more trouble with it, but they're doing it. You know, they're working on decolonizing their palates as well. Okay, palates is like your taste buds. Okay?
Question. For the garlic, I took off the outside skin, and then on these ones that's here, I was just gonna leave the skin.
The like, show me what you're talking about there.
Like this.
You took off the papery peel.
Yeah, and now it looks like real like I don't know. It looks really. And then this one, it doesn't so much because like the peel, the flaky peel. So just peel them, right? Everything.
Yep, peel off all the papery, flaky stuff. And you want it to like be shiny, right? Just like the shiny whole clove.
Yes.
And the reason you want that is just because that paper, it'll still pickle even if you left on that paper, but that paper is very unpleasant to try to eat. So, okay.
Anybody know how to get this video going?
Push video.
Oh wait, there.
Yeah, do you see the video there?
Are we supposed to cover it as we're sweating it? No,
you don't have to cover it.
Okay.
You can to kind of like, you know, get it going or whatever, soften it, but you don't have to.
We can, Candace.
I'm just like stirring mine kind of constantly here. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, mine looks really good. It looks like super tasty already, and I haven't even added my liquids. Any more questions before I talk about the liquids?
What are you trying to cook now, girl?
So in this bowl, I have 2.5 cups of water. Okay, I already put my water in here. I poured 2.5 cups of water in here. Okay. That's all that's in here, 2.5 cups of water. And now what's next on the recipe is 1 cup of white vinegar.
We pour the water in there right now?
Yep. So get a separate bowl. It doesn't have to be a separate bowl. If you want to pour it into your right into your pan, you can. I just want to be able to show you guys. So I'm going to repeat that. If you want to pour the water directly into your vegetables, you totally can do that. Okay. I'm just showing you guys in a separate bowl. So right now, pour your 2.5 cups of water into your escabeche vegetables or into a separate bowl.
I got more garlic cloves to go in there, Candace. So garlic cloves. I'm so behind.
For me, the more garlic, the better. Did you see what the trick that Will had where he was taking the garlic? Yeah. Is that working for you?
A little bit.
Okay, so 2.5 cups of water in here.
The vegetables, should they be tender or start to get kind of
They should tender? Just be starting to get tender. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. If I wasn't on here with you guys, I'd totally be trying them already and then chewing them up, but I don't want to be chewing food in front of you guys. Okay, so 2.5 cups of water, and to my 2.5 cups of water, I'm going to add 1 cup of white vinegar. Okay, you guys, check this out. This is just white vinegar. All right. If you guys only have apple cider vinegar, that's fine. If you guys have some really beautiful maple vinegar, like from like some of your Ojibwe relatives who make maple vinegar, like Dynamite Hill Farms, you guys know Jerry Gendreau and Katie up north there. Man, they make some amazing maple vinegar. That maple vinegar would make your escabeche a little sweeter, but that's fine. It'd still be delicious. Whatever vinegar you have, okay? You don't have to think zombie apocalypse. If you were trying to make this, you wouldn't have to take a extra trip to the store, is what I'm saying. So whatever you have, but I do have some white vinegar and I'm gonna pour 1 cup off. Okay, and to my 2.5 cups of water, I'm gonna add 1 cup of white vinegar. Any questions on that? Any questions on vinegar? Vinegar is amazing medicine all by itself. I don't know how many of you guys drink like a vinegar drink every day, but a lot of people do because it's so good for our digestion, our gut microbiome, it's called. So you could totally do that. And then, okay, let's talk about this for a second. A teaspoon of sugar. Okay. Now, if you want to use honey, go ahead and use honey. If you want to use maple sugar, use your maple sugar. Like one of your little maple candies, heck yeah, throw it in there. You could totally do that. If you want, if you want to use agave syrup, use your agave. Yep. Awesome. Will is using honey. Totally.
Yeah.
Honey is whatever sweetener. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking about honey.
Yep, honey is great. I'm using some maple sugar right here. So just a teaspoon. So I have 2.5 cups of water, 1 cup of vinegar, a teaspoon of maple sugar that I'm adding. Use whatever sugar you have laying around, okay? No, don't worry about it. No shame. Just gonna stir it around here a little bit. And then I'm gonna add. Okay, so guys, some of you have a seasoning packet in which you have some bay leaves, oregano, marjoram, and thyme. Right now, everybody listening, I want you to reach in that bag and take out your 2 bay leaves because we're gonna add those later. Okay. So if you have your jars, I know some of you guys have someone in the kitchen. So is everyone back in the kitchen listening? Add your bay leaves to your dry jars. Okay. So I only have 1 huge jar here. This is a 2-quart jar. You guys have 2 1-quart jars. So I'm gonna put both of my bay leaves into this jar.
I only have 1 bay leaf.
I got,
Just add that. Do you have 2 jars?
Yeah.
That's all right. Just break it in half. You know, see how dry it is?
Okay.
Yeah, just break it in half and add half to each jar. That's totally fine.
I got 3 bay leaves.
You got her bay leaf.
Yeah, I did.
Can you mail it to me real quick? Yeah, it's good.
Run it over. So yeah, just add 1 bay leaf to each jar. If you love the taste of bay leaves and you want to add more, that's totally fine. You guys, I'm telling you, you can't mess this up. Okay, like whatever you guys want. Right?
Do we gotta cook the peppers too? Do we gotta cook the peppers, or can I just drop those in
Yep.
there?
Put your jalapenos in there. So look here, Will. I already have my whole jalapenos in here.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we add the seasonings to the mixture now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yep. So I mean, you will. Okay. So I just want to. So in my bowl, I have my water, I have my vinegar, and now I'm gonna add half a teaspoon each of. You guys already have it. You guys already have it there for you, but I don't. So this is my jar. Look how much time we use, you guys. There's this thyme, Thyme. It's a beautiful, medicinal, and delicious herb. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my water and my vinegar. I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of oregano. Okay, you guys already have that in yours, but if you don't, you can add half a teaspoon of oregano. See me drop that in? And then you're gonna add half a teaspoon of marjoram. I don't know how many of you guys like have tried marjoram before, but it's basically just oregano. Like it tastes like oregano mixed with oranges. And so I'm gonna add that to my water vinegar mixture.
So is that the seasoning packet we have then?
Yep, just go ahead and dump your seasoning packet in there now.
Wait, dump it where?
Dump it into your water and vinegar mixture. Or right into your escabeche. Either one, you can't mess it up.
I poured everything together already in one pan.
That's fine. Yep, that's fine. No problem.
And then put this in the pan.
Yep, put it in the pan. Yep. Okay, so I actually did mine in a separate bowl. So I just want to show you guys, I have my water, vinegar, thyme, marjoram, and oregano in here. And I'm gonna do it right in front of you guys. Hold on 1 second. So I'm gonna move my pot right in front of me. Okay. So you guys, I want you to just listen up just for 1 second. So in this pot, it's hot. I have onion. Okay, so there's onion. Okay, right here. I have carrot. Right there. I have cauliflower. And I have whole jalapenos. Okay, in this pot. And I've been like kind of softening them up this whole time. Okay, now I'm gonna take my water, my vinegar, and my herbs, my seasonings, and I'm gonna just add, oh, I have my garlic in here too. Sorry. There's one. See that whole garlic clove that I have in here already? Ouch, that's hot. All right, and then I'm just gonna pour my liquid and my herbs right into here. Okay, you guys didn't have to do it in a separate bowl. You could have just poured it in here. I just wanted you to just, see it. I wanted you to actually see it. Okay. Okay, so I have my vinegar and water and stuff in here now. And my herbs.
Oh, what about when should we add the honey?
Yep, I already added my sugar to my vinegar water mixture. And
Okay.
so if you're using honey, you can just add that right to the pot. This is kind of a one pot thing. Like I said, I didn't have to do it separately in a bowl. I just wanted you guys to see me, mix it together. Zoom is tough, you know? I wish I was like with you guys in your kitchen, hanging out, you know, like all of us doing this together in the kitchen, because it's so much easier. Because honestly, you guys, we're done. You know what I mean? Like we're done. Like let me just show you guys here. Okay, see my pot here? I added oil to here. I added my vegetables and I just softened them up in a hot pan for a while. And I just added my liquid and my herbs. That's all I
Go
did.
grab your,
Okay,
cup.
don't overcomplicate this. Don't make it more complicated for yourselves. All you're doing is softening vegetables in a hot pan and adding a vinegar, water, and herb mixture. But let me before I take more questions, let me tell you that those herbs, the thyme, the oregano, and the marjoram are amazing medicine. They are so good. They're like powerfully antiviral. You guys just basically made an antiviral pickle. No lie. If you guys like have you know, if you see like, oh man, I tested positive for COVID again, or if you say like, oh man, my kid tested positive for influenza A or something like that, you could seriously eat some of these veggies and it would be an antiviral medicine. And it's delicious. You know, it's that whole, you know, food is medicine idea. Okay. Any questions right now? I can repeat this whole process. It's super easy. And I don't mind doing it. Okay, I'm just gonna repeat one more time for anyone who may have been busy. Like we all have kids and stuff, right? So I get it. All right, I'm gonna eat one of these carrots right now. Oh my God. So good, you guys. Even right now, even though it's not really pickled yet, those are delicious. Delicious. This is an excellent recipe. And it's not even my recipe. Anita got it online. So what
it's smelling really good right now.
Yay. I'm so glad. Yeah, mine smells amazing. So what I'm gonna do, here, I'm gonna just like leave mine in this hot pot for a little while longer while we're visiting. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, we're almost done here. But the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like bring the liquid in here a little, like make it hot, because I had my pot off the heat. And then after it comes to like a simmer, oh, I think, yeah, thanks. Yep, so people are having trouble hearing, so if you could mute yourself, that'd be awesome. So I'm just gonna, I have mine on the heat here on my hot plate still. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it like heat up for a while until I see the liquid in there bubbling a little, simmering a little. And then I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna put it into this jar that has these bay leaves in it. You guys see that? And my bay leaves in there. And so I'm gonna add my pickles, my escabeche to this jar. And then I'm just gonna put the lid on. And you guys, I don't know how it is in your household, but like I'm gonna put this big jar, like this is a 2-quart jar, right? I'm gonna put this on my kitchen counter. I'm not gonna put it in the fridge. Because there's vinegar in it, right? Vinegar like stuff doesn't go bad. At least, it'd take a really long time for it to go bad. And the thing is that this jar will be empty in 2 weeks and I'll have to make another batch. So like, if you guys will be eating it, you don't have to put it in the fridge. You can like leave it out for your family, and you know, people will walk by it, grab a fork, spear a piece of cauliflower and eat it on their way to school or on their way to work or whatever, you know, or when they get home. You know, if they have a sore throat, they'll take a fork, grab a piece of garlic and chew on that. Slice it thin and put it on your grilled cheese and make a medicinal grilled cheese, because grilled cheese isn't good for you. Okay, any questions right now?
So we put all the, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you great.
Oh, cool. Dang, I didn't know that. So we put all the vegetables in the, I'm using a wok actually. So I put them all in there and just turn the heat on low.
Yep.
And then let them all get kind of soft. And then I mix the herbs and the vinegar and the water with the bay leaf in the jar, or right?
So actually you want to pour your water and vinegar and herbs over.
Okay. Over the
vegetables.
vegetables, and then let them heat up until it just barely starts bubbling. And the vegetables are soft, and then transfer them all to the jar. Once they're in the jar with the bay leaves in them, then we put the seal on and then flip it upside down. I wasn't sure about the invert part.
Yeah. So the reason that they're doing that is because your vegetables and your liquid will be hot when you put them in here. Have you ever sealed jars before? Like boiled them and sealed them?
Actually,
So,
no.
Honey, can you grab a sealed jar like from our that jar of green salsa that I made yesterday?
I know it's a heat convection process.
Yep. So okay, this is a jar of green salsa I made yesterday. Okay, so watch this. See the lid here? It does not, it doesn't move at all. It's sealed. That means it like sucked it down and it pulled all the oxygen out of here. So this green salsa will last in this jar for like 2 years. Once I open this, okay, I'm gonna do it because we're gonna eat this green salsa anyway. So listen to this. Everybody listen, okay? Hold on 1 second. Okay, listen. Did you hear that pop?
Yeah.
It popped, right? So now, if I push on this lid, it moves.
Yeah.
So this is no longer sealed. So the salsa in this jar is only gonna last for like 2 weeks, even in the fridge. If I had, you know, when I had it sealed, when I had it, you know, I had put the salsa in here hot, so it kind of like it like sucked out all the air. This would have lasted 2 years, but I opened it, and so now it's only gonna last 2 weeks.
Okay, so the heat will just do it itself. You don't have to do anything special to the jar.
Correct. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Once you put your hot stuff in here, you put your lid on and you turn it upside down.
Yeah.
It's gonna seal itself and pull all that oxygen out of there, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for a long time, but it won't last that long. If you like pickles, it's not gonna last that long.
Yeah.
But if you wanted it to, because of the vinegar and because of the sealing it, it will last a very long time, like months.
Okay.
Yep, and like Anita just shared in the chat, you'll hear a popping sound when it seals. Okay, so like mine is over here on this hot. Let me kind of just show you guys again. So it's hot. It's bubbling and boiling. And you can kind of see the steam coming off of it, but nothing is brown. So I'm actually gonna do this. Sorry, if any of you have to go, I totally understand, but I just wanted to let it come to a boil for a while. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start putting it into my jar, okay? So I'm just spooning the whole thing into my jar. Let me move it over in front of the camera so you guys can see it better.
My apologies for being late.
Oh, no, no problem. It happens. Okay, so just spooning it in here, okay? And you guys can use, this is not the best spoon for this. Luke, can you get me like a scoop spoon for this instead of this wooden spoon? Yeah, let's do that. So that's a good idea, actually. So my husband just handed me a pair of tongs, and so that's gonna work great. And then I'll pour all the liquid on top. Make sure not to pour out the liquid, but that'll be easier. Man, this looks so good, you guys. This is gonna be so awesome because it's kind of like having, you know, it's kind of like having those vegetables available for your family all winter long. Just pushing down all those veggies. If you have too many veggies to fit in your 2 jars, that's okay too. You can like put them in a separate jar, like if you have it, just keep it in the fridge. Yeah, it's a little dark. Well, that's much better. I think I'm gonna need another jar. Yep, any questions?
No, it looks great.
Yeah, so good. And it's like so good for you. Like this is just so good.
This good for like is this good for like parasite cleanse or whatever because it's so healthy?
Yes, so sorry. You have issues with parasites, if you have issues with
I do.
is it H. pylori?
No, it was a pinworm.
Okay, so the vinegar in here and those so thyme and oregano both, and probably marjoram too, but I don't know that for sure because you know, I don't cook with marjoram all the time, but I cook with oregano and thyme all the time. Oregano and thyme are both what we call vermicidal. So those like issues, you know, even for you know, for anybody, even for young people, if you're worried about parasites in your gut, those are awesome herbs for that. So this will actually really help with that.
Good, because I literally just took a bite. Like my vegetables aren't even done, but I was like, oh my God, like this smells so good. Like I can't wait. And I went ahead and grabbed me a carrot. And after I ate the carrot, I was like, oh my God. And like my stomach, like I'm literally just getting over it and like getting the antibiotics or whatever. But like right away, my stomach like started to feel, I don't know, it feels better already. And I don't know if that even makes sense, but like right when I ate the carrot and I was like, oh my God, like, is this, what type of like good voodoo is this? Like, why do I feel like that instantly? And, you know, it's been hard for me to even want to eat or even get an appetite to eat because of the pinworm, you know? And it's like, I just snuck a bite of carrot. And honestly, I was like, wow, this taste is incredible. And I was like, is this supposed to like help with like your gut, like the inside of your gut or whatever is what I was thinking.
Totally. So let's just talk about that for 1 second. And I understand some of you guys have to go, and that's totally fine if you do, but let me like seriously listen to this for a second because I feel like it's so important for everyone to know. And Anita knows this because we did a workshop on this. And so if you look at the YouTube channel and you find the video on the vagus nerve, VAGUS, you'll see that we talk about the fact that pickled things and fermented things will actually go into your stomach, and it will make the little microbes that are in your stomach, your gut microbiome it's called, but the little critters in your tummy, it will make them happy. So it will kill the bad critters and it will make the good critters literally happy. Okay. And it makes them so happy that they start producing a neurotransmitter called GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid or something like that. So it makes those critters happy. And then those critters send a signal to your brain of like, hey, this is good. This is a good thing. We're happy down here. Eat more of that. And like, we'll keep you healthy. We'll help you. So literally what happened to you is like, you know, you had some neurotransmitters going on telling you that this is like good for you and that this is going to help you. And it's not just for parasites like pinworms. It's for things like H. pylori, which is a bacteria. It's for any of you who have, even you guys, anxiety and depression. This is good for anxiety and depression. It's great for viral illnesses. If you have a tummy virus, things like that, this is medicine for that. And so, you know, you guys, indigenous people are brilliant. And this is an indigenous dish that's been eaten in Central and South America and the southern part of what's now the United States for like forever. Why would they eat it if it was, you know, if it wasn't good for them? They wouldn't, because it's indigenous brilliance. So this is like a way to get food and medicine at the same time, okay? And so I hope you guys will enjoy this, and I hope that you'll share it with your family. And if you guys go to make this, you eat all of this up in the next couple of weeks, and you go to make it again, hi baby, hi, and you go to make it again in a couple of weeks, and you're like, oh man, I'm not confident. This video will be posted on the NACC YouTube channel, but you can always contact me on Facebook. I'm at Linda Black Elk on Facebook, and I will answer any questions you have. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey, how tight should we make the lace? Just like
you want to, no problem. You want to tighten it up. Like it doesn't, you know, like you want it to be tight enough so that when you turn the jar over, it doesn't leak.
okay, cool.
Awesome.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. This is Shauna. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It was nice to do this. Quick question before we leave. How long do I have to keep my vegetables boiling? Just until they're brown? No, or till they're soft?
Just till they're soft.
Okay.
You don't want them brown, just till they're soft.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good job, everyone.
Awesome. Great
I
job,
hope you enjoy
guys.
it.
Awesome. Miigwech, Wopida, Gigawabaman.
We
See you
can
guys.